So in this part of the training, we're going to tackle something that holds most investors back who want to scale with real estate, and that is their mindset. Because let's face it, you cannot scale with single family thinking. If you want financial freedom faster, you need to think differently. So let's do a quick run through of what you'll gain from these next videos here in part 2 of the scaling mindset. Today's going to be the breakthrough day because we're going to talk about how to actually the scaling mindset and what that literally entails, because you can't take a single family house investing mindset and expect to be successful with multifamily or syndication. So it's really a breakthrough day, right? A breakthrough day is where we're going to talk about how to scale the financial freedom faster than you ever thought possible. I already hinted at that before, but a lot of at the heart of scaling is a scaling mindset. We're going to talk about the scaling mindset. What does that actually mean? But fundamentally, it means that the things that were working for you before in your single family house thinking or investing, whatever that was, is not going to work if you want to scale. You're going to have to unlearn some things if you've already done it, and you have to learn new things if you want to scale with syndication. So I'm going to introduce, kind of like Rich Dad Poor Dad did, I'm going to introduce a lot of different ideas. A lot of things start with the idea, and it really changes you when there's something you don't know is possible, and you hear, you're like, oh my gosh, this kind of changes everything. And that's what we're going to talk about here today is really what is a scaling mindset? What is that all about, and what do we have to unlearn? So again, like we did last time here on our training, quick professional disclaimer. I don't know your personal situation, so I can't give you actual advice on your investing situation. And, there's risk with everything that we're doing. There's risk in investing in real estate. There's also risk in not investing in real estate. But again, I don't know you personally, so just consider what I'm about to present to you as very valuable with educational purposes, not advice to go out and do a bunch of stuff or not do a bunch of stuff. But certainly, hopefully, trying to provide value for you in here as we try to scale. So in part 1, here's what we talked about. We talked about why multifamily is the easiest path to financial freedom, and we compared it to different other types of strategies like long-term rentals, flipping, short-term rentals, pad splits, things of that nature. Why is it the easiest path to financial freedom? We graded across different 6 categories around scalability. We assigned each asset class, each strategy in a scalability score, and multifamily scored high in those areas. And the other thing also is we gave an introduction into syndications 101. How do they work? And what's the structure of them? And how do they pay the general partners and the limited partners? And then we also talked about, we got you kind of excited about multifamily syndications, as you should be. We talked about the 2 myths of apartment building investing, which are probably holding you back from even the idea of going into multifamily, which is, I don't have the experience, I don't have the money, right? Let me get 5 or 10 years of experience flipping houses, doing rentals, and I'll take that experience and the money I make, and I will graduate to multifamily. And we talked about that is not, in fact, what you need to do. But we're going to unpack that today. We're going to talk about that today and also in part 3 as well, exactly why that's true. And so we concluded that multifamily at the end, the goal was why multifamily. And so the reason that you guys are here is hopefully I was able to convince you to some degree that multifamily is actually the way to go because there's a higher income potential. The numbers, the cash flow is higher. And there's better wealth building potential because the numbers are bigger. It's more passive because I can hire a professional property manager to run it. And it's also less risky because it survived a lot of market cycles very well. There's also a lot of pent-up demand for the asset class, for affordable rental housing, and you get extraordinary tax benefits through commercial real estate in general, multifamily specifically. And this really means that you have a higher income potential and wealth building potential. You have it's more passive. In other words, I can make more money without without spending a lot of extra time building that wealth. It's less risky, meaning I have a longer runway to build that wealth, and I pay less taxes so I can build wealth faster. So to me, multifamily is just the ultimate wealth builder as well. What I want to talk to you about today is the breakthrough to actually scaling. Because you're here today because you want financial freedom, obviously. You want time freedom. You want to do what you want, with whom you want, and when you want to do it. And you probably already realize that single-family homes aren't going to get you there fast enough, if at all. But, here's the hard truth. Just because you know from part 1 that multifamily is the better is just not enough. Because most people still don't scale. In fact, most people get stuck, even the ones who try multifamily. And why is that? And it's because they try to use a single family house investing mindset and single family house investing tactics. With multifamily, it doesn't work. You have to develop a scaling mindset. And that's what we're going to talk about here in part 2. That's why I'm calling it the breakthrough, because that's what I want for you in this training, the breakthrough on how to scale to financial freedom faster than you ever thought possible. And if you're tired of grinding and you want clarity and confidence to finally scale your real estate business, then this session is going to be the turning point. So here's what we're going to cover here today. I'm going to first show you in real numbers why multifamily is the fastest path, not just the easiest, but also the fastest path to financial freedom. We're going to reverse engineer that freedom number that we built up in the previous training. And I'm going to show you exactly how long it's going to take to hit your freedom number with apartments and why that number is probably a lot closer than you think. We're also going to uncover why most investors stay stuck and they fail to scale, even when they know multifamily is the best path, and what you can do about it to avoid those traps. And I'm going to walk you through the one mindset shift that changed everything for me and allowed me to scale faster than ever thought possible to $300 million in real estate. And then I'm going to talk to you about why right now is probably a once-in-a-decade real estate investing opportunity. Why now is the time to actually get started, aside from not waiting for your best future, but there's also something going in the market right now that you need to know about that's really, really important. So with that, also make sure you download the workbook for today. It's in the same place as last time. And it's at realestateempire.co/workbook, so you can just scan the QR code. And I'm going to show you real quick here where this is. So you go to realestateempire.co/workbooks, and then you see the part 1 from last time. Okay, so you need it for part 1. And then we're going to download part 2 here, right down here. Just click on this thing, and you can see here the workbook. So there's main points I want to make here. You can fill along the presentation and fill in blanks. I will shout it out to you. These are the main things that I want to kind of leave with you today in part 2. But there's also a lot of other cliff notes here. So you can kind of follow along in the presentation. When you're done, you can read this over. Those are the main points from today's talk. So you can follow along in the workbook as well. All right, so there you have it. There's an overview of Module 2, which is going to be the breakthrough moment, how to actually scale faster with freedom, faster than you ever thought possible. And we're going to start here in the next video, really comparing different retirement strategies, saving yourself, investing in the stock market, investing in single families, actually putting numbers to paper and going, hey, how long is this strategy going to take to actually achieve financial freedom? Of course, we'll talk about multifamily as well. So let's get into the next video.